Howdy there, Young and Silver Mongoose here, and welcome to 2010, where people are recording videos on their phones, editing them, and the Wii is still relevant. And the reason I'm doing this is because it's kind of a time-sensitive video. I wanted to do a bit of a PSA for the Wii, and I just have not had the time to do anything. In February, last month, I spent a large portion of it horizontal, just lying on the floor with like a heating pad and on medication. I just had really bad back pains for some unknown reason. And being on the computer made it significantly worse. It was like the worst thing for me. And though I am better now, it's still really bad for me. And most of this month, I've had multiple people over for company, like staying at my place. So it's either I do it like this or I don't do it at all. And I really wanted to do this because I want to talk about how the Wii eShop is going to stop taking or stop allowing you to purchase points on March 26th, which is coming up very soon. By the time I post this, it's probably going to be a week away. So what that means is that you can still actually download games you've already purchased until January, but we only have about a week to buy points to actually buy stuff with. And well, who cares? It's the Wii, right? Most of you Nintendo dudes and dudettes are on your Switches and having fun with that. But there's a lot of stuff on the Wii that is really cool, and kind of hard to get other places. Like I just made like a quick paper list here. Like on the Virtual Console, there's games that were Japanese exclusives, like Do-Re-Mi Fantasy on Super Famicom, and the original Mario Brothers from Famicom. Sin and Punishment on the 64. Games like Paper Mario, Chrono Trigger that are kind of expensive to buy, but are fairly reasonable on there. You have TurboGrafx 16 games. You have arcade games, Master System games. A lot of games like this are hard to come by and play otherwise. So getting them on the Wii Virtual Console is still a great option, even though they're not the cheapest. It's better than buying the actual cartridge price-wise. And there's a lot of great stuff on the WiiWare too. People really gave it a lot of flack, but I really loved it. There was a lot of really cool things in there, and a lot of things that are still exclusive, and who knows if they're ever going to get ported anywhere else. And if they don't, then those things are gone, right? So there's a few, videos and lists going around of things that you need to check out, and I'd really recommend that you at least look at some of those lists, because there might be things on there that you think, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I remember hearing about it 4 or 5 years ago, longer than that now, and you just kind of forgot about it. And if you don't get it within the next few days, you may never have a chance. I know Jonathan Holmes, I think from Destructoid, made a pretty good list. I quickly breezed through it and it looked okay. And again, I would have loved to have made a full-on video talking about the Virtual Console and the eShop and the Wii, and and have like kind of mini reviews of all of these. But like I said, I was not even able to sit in a chair, so spending a lot of time editing videos was not an option for me. So a few that I have enjoyed was Muscle March, which is a game where you are playing bodybuilders, and you have to basically go in positions physically using the Wiimotes to fit through walls, which is kind of cool. Mega Man 9 and 10, obviously. You, Me, and the Cubes was a weird one by, I think, name is, I don't know his name, but he's a Japanese developer who's now passed away. He was famous for making D2, and it's kind of like a puzzle balance game, which is really cool. Retro City Rampage. My Life as a King, which is, I think the first game I actually got on there, like back in 2007, and I still haven't played it, but I bought it day one because it's a Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles game, kind of like a kingdom builder, managing your town kind of thing. Revenge of the Gladiator is a cool one. It's very much like Punch-Out, but like has Medusas and stuff in it. And you can use, I think, like the balance board and Motion Plus, but you can also just use it like you would using the Wiimote as an NES controller. So it's very arcadey, lots of fun. Tomena Sanner, which is a runner with a lot of style from back when before runners were a thing. Bonsai Barber was a cool one. It's a bit slow because you can only play so much in a day, and then you have to wait till the next day. but it's basically you are a barber for fruits and vegetables and other plants. And I think it's made by one of the creators or one of the developers of GoldenEye in the 64. So a lot of really weird things like that where developers kind of tried little weird things because they were excited by having a new audience and having the controllers, right? And some other ones, let's see here, that I haven't gotten but I want to. Fluidity was a great Nintendo one. Chick Chick Boom. Well, hold on. I'll go back to Fluidity. Fluidity is a cool one made by Nintendo where you use the controller and tilt it and use that to move water. Chick Chick Boom, which is like a two-player game where you have a bunch of chicks on each side and pens, and what you have to do is like draw like bombs and plants and stuff to attack your enemy. That's a multiplayer game. Lit, which was by Way Forward, I think. And it's like a puzzle game where you're a kid in a dark school or something, and you have to use light to get through. Lit Line, which is a very minimalist game where you're basically just trying not to touch the walls. I'm doing a really bad description of these, but that's what happens whenever you have like 10 minutes to plan a video and throw it online. But I'd recommend looking in these all up. Also, there's a lot of really great games like there was a new Blaster Master. Konami made Rebirth, like a Rebirth series, so they had like a Castlevania Rebirth. A lot of really cool stuff on there. So that's all the ones I really want to talk about. There's probably more on there. I mean, part of the issue with the Wii eShop is it was so expensive, right? A lot of these games, even though there's only a week left, there's no sales. There's never been any sales. You know, your NES Famicom games are still $5. Your 64 games are still $12 or $15. And a lot of those games I talked about, like Bonsai Barber, I think is like 1,200 points. Revenge of the Glad, like all these are around $10, $15. So if you ended up buying like a lot of the ones you were excited about, like me, I'm probably going to drop like $80 on this stuff, unfortunately. But when something like this happens to me, I get like kind of panicky because I'm like, I don't want these games to disappear forever, right? I want them. I want to experience them, like especially those really interesting things like You, Me, and the Cube and Bonsai Barber. And Yet It Moves is another one. Some of these have been ported, right? Like I think And Yet It Moves is also on PC, but you don't have the tilt controls, which really changes the experience of a game like that. So anyways, I just wanted to say, yeah, there's very little time left. If you're interested at all about preserving games or indie games or just the Wii in general, check out the eShop, load up some points on there, and purchase stuff while you still can. Look up some lists. There's probably tons of YouTubers talking about this right now. So you can probably get mini reviews and all that kind of stuff. And again, I do wish I could have made a full video, but it was either this or nothing. Maybe in the future I'll make one, but yeah. And that's it. So it's been Silver Mongoose Videos. Remember, classic gaming never gets old. Unless it's online, and then it can disappear forever.